Okay, so second team in the mobile track for game design is Geekologic from France. Take it away, guys.
Hey.
So, welcome. I want to talk about environmental sustainability. I have a problem. Everyone here have a problem. The atmospheric pollution. That causes the global warming. Did you know, for example, that if the temperature increased of 2 degrees Celsius, it would signify the extinction of one species on 4? Maybe in 50 years, everyone will look like that. Do you really want our children look like this one? So there are a lot of available technologies.
So what can we do in order to find solutions? We could shut down the light in order to save power. We could read books in order to find solutions. Or we can play Brain-Energy, or even wear shorts in order to not be too hot. So which answer would it be? Yep, it is the Brain-Energy. So switch.
So, as I said, there are a lot of available technologies, but a lot of people don't know them. And what if we could manipulate renewable energies? What if these manipulations allowed to understand those technologies? And what finally if this knowledge could help to solve environmental issues?
So that's Brain-Energy. What's Brain-Energy? First, it's a puzzle game with a serious aspect. A serious aspect about renewable energies. We targeted the game for the casual player on mobile platform.
Okay, so what's the point?
So the first objective of the game was to make a game accessible. An accessible game, it means a fun game, first, in order to attract a maximum of players. But we also wanted our game to be challenging, in order to make the player use this brain to solve riddles. And we wanted also to federate a maximum of players and to put a serious aspect in the game. So we wanted to develop an ecological consciousness to the player and teach him about renewable energies.
Okay, so what is Brain-Energy?
Concretely, Brain-Energy, it's a game where you can manipulate particle flow. This particle flow refers to renewable energy, and we have 7 different types of renewable energy. We have also 15 interaction objects who are all inspired from real life. Like you can see, the solar panel, the alternator, the wind turbine, or the hydraulic dam. With all these objects, the player is able to convert, transport the energy in order to supply city with clean energy. All these tools provide thousands of combinations and guarantee a renewable challenge at each level.
Interesting. How does it look like?
We will show you.
So we will show you this the gameplay of Brain-Energy for 3 levels. Let's start with a tutorial level from New York, from Paris, in order to highlight the basic game mechanics of the game. C'était bon. So,
have a problem.
there is a little problem. Qu'est-ce que t'as encore fait?
Sorry, technical issue.
That is well.
Maybe.
Yeah, so accident.
It's working 5 minutes ago. Not now.
It used to work, okay. And Shazam!
That works. So, thanks. So let's start with a tutorial level in Paris, in order to highlight the basic mechanics of the game. You can see on the left side of the screen an energy flow. It represents the wind energy. Each kind of energy has a specific color. This one is purple.
Okay, and what is the aim of the level?
The aim of the level is simple. You have to fill the target with renewable energies. This one needs electricity. So we are going to convert wind energy into electricity. And after, change the direction of the flow in order to reach the target. In order to make it, we have some converters. This one is the wind turbine. It allows us to convert wind energy into mechanical energy. The other one is the alternator. It allows us to convert mechanical energy into electricity. Now we have electricity, but we don't have reached the target yet. So we are going to use the deflector in order to make it. When the gauge is filling up, it means that the city is autosufficient in renewable energy and here in electrical clean energy.
Okay, it seems. What is this text?
This text is a real fact from the mechanical, so from the technologies that you can see in each level in order to inform the player about what is renewable energies and what's the object we are using in real life you can use in games.
Okay, but for a puzzle game, it seems a bit simple, no?
You think it? Let's move to New York and see another level. In New York, in United States, solar energy is a good way to produce clean electrical energy. For this, we have the solar panel. On this level, you have to fill two targets, one in electricity and one with hydraulical flow. Hydraulical energy, you have it on the left side of the screen. A new object appears in this level. It's the hydraulic pump. Like in real life, you have to fill it with two energies. One is the electricity, and second one is the hydraulical energy. Now that we have filled the hydraulical target, we have to fill the target with electricity. So let's use the extra energy you have produced with solar panel.
Okay, it seems interesting, but I thought it was not the only way to use sun.
Yeah, that's right. You can use sun in two ways. One is with the solar panel, and the other one is with the solar heater. You can see it in Sydney that you can convert solar energy directly in thermic energy. The only way to change the direction of thermic energy is to use a heat pump. The heat pump is like the hydraulic pump. You have to use it with two energies flow. One is the hydraulical energy, and the second one is thermic energy.
Okay, sounds good. But it's a fun game, but how does it solve my problem?
Well, maybe you're not conscious, but only by playing these few levels, you have probably learned a few things. I will show you a simple example in order to highlight this knowledge. So, in real life, solar panels are used in order to create electricity. But very often, this electricity is used in order to heat houses. But by playing Greenergy, you have the opportunity to understand that you can straightly convert the solar energy into thermic energy. So you will learn the good ways, and you will have the knowledge of the good use of the renewable energies. But that's not all. Greenergy is a serious game. It's a game in which the gameplay mechanics will teach to the player the renewable energies mechanics. And we also have a strong reality aspect, which is going to lead the player to acquire the knowledge of all the different technologies and all the different energies that are featured in the renewable energies process. And with all this knowledge, the player is going to be able to fight against pollution and maybe even change the world.
Okay, but how can I trust your solution?
Well, we had a few project achievements during the development. We have been nominated for the European Games for Change Festival, and we have won the first place of the Imagine Cup French final. We also had a lot of reviews from professionals of the video games, who said our game was accessible, addictive, and adapted to the platform. And we are actually building a partnership with Yadem, who was the sponsor of the Imagine Cup 2008. So we have a strong potential both on serious and on fun aspects.
Okay, sounds great. How can I get it?
Next October, you will get it on every mobile platform and every mobile market, like the marketplace, the App Store, or the Android market. And we also wanted to put the game on other platforms, like Xbox and PlayStation Network, and maybe even computer.
That's very great.
So we also want to thank a lot of people. First, Microsoft and all the coaches and judges who give us advice at each room, and Microsoft for the organization of Imagine Cup. We also wanted to thank Palm Studio because they give us the opportunity to commercialize the game and help us during the development process. But we really want to thank our school, our respective school, IngeSup and Supinfo Game, who always did their best to support us through its great adventure. And we want to thank Boris Leduc, Marion Valette, David Inkel, and Laure Casalini. Now, thanks for your attention. If you have any question, feel free to ask.
Hi, congratulations for making it to the finals. It's a very interesting game. What I would like to know, all the mechanics of energy conversion is there, how to convert wind power to electricity, etc. How are you going to ensure that the player will learn something out of it? Because there is a danger that she might play the game, complete the level, and get nothing out of it, just by combining the several elements. How are you going to ensure that in the end he will get something out of it?
To finish some level, the player needs to understand that certain converters are more effective than other one, and he must use the less object than possible. So he will understand by the gameplay mechanics that, for example, the solar heater is more effective than a solar panel and another heater, an electrical heater. So he will understand the renewable energy mechanics without being conscious of it, and he will understand all the mechanics by the gameplay mechanics.
And the fact is that also we will put all along the game different real facts which are gonna make the link properly between the gameplay mechanics that the player learned, in order to highlight what are the real mechanics that he has learned.
And can I follow up something to that? How are you going to ensure that he will understand which converter is more efficient? Are you going to have different paths, different solutions to each puzzle?
Yeah, there is already different solution to finish the level, but only one solution gives the best trophy, and so the player will understand that to have the better trophy, he had to do with the first solution. And there is also a point: the player will be unconscious of the fact he learning. But at the end of the level, we put some little text to explain better and more concretely what it's the mechanics he learned in this level.
Congratulations again for getting to this stage. I very much appreciated the changes in the version, the text screens that you put up to pass through the theme clearer. Now, is there any other feedback that you received over these few days that you've integrated into the version?
No, not much. We didn't really wanted to add too much stuff because we don't want to create new bugs in it. At least we did what we can, like these real facts that we planned already anyway to put in it. You asked for them, so of course we put them in it straight away. And we also worked a little on the fonts that were a little, not well integrated. So we just changed the font.
And second question, what are the elements that you're going to change after the competition? What are the priorities for the team?
The first priority is we are actually remaking the level design in order to make it more progressive and step by step, one feature by feature. And we also want to make a partnership with the ADEM, like he said. We are actually working on it. Thank you. And we want to reinforce the serious aspect of the game.
We have also the rewards part that we want to work on it, noticeably on the waste of energy that the player could do during the different levels. And the ADEM in order to put all the real facts and to reinforce.
Congrats again. Could you explain a little bit about what you mean by making the level design more progressive?
Because actually there is a level design very in the first city, Paris. You will discover renewable energy who are actually used in France, and after you go in New York and you see the solar energy and more American renewable energy, and all this energy we wanted to put feature by feature, one feature by city, in order, like the water pump or the heater pump are some complicated concept to make understand to the player. So we will put them progressively in order to make the player understand step by step the gameplay mechanics.
And at the same time, the renewable energy mechanics, of course.
So I think the education piece is fantastic. So it's very clear this is what you want to teach and this is how you're approaching it with the puzzles. I think something you may want to think about as you go forward and continue to develop the game is the motivational aspect for the player. So if I'm motivated to learn about how the renewable energy sources work, I think it's a fantastic product. But I think you could integrate, some higher level results. So if I manage to pass the levels in Sydney and Paris and New York, I've reduced global CO2 by this much, and that would be the effect. And just sort of trying to think through how do you motivate the player to continue to come back and continue to improve. And part of it is the learning about how the renewable energy sources actually work. But I think you also need to think about how do you motivate them specifically to play the game over and over and over again so that learning can take place.
The game is, the player is going to discover all around the world, and at the beginning of the game, all the world will be like in a scale of gray, so it's a dark and sad world, and all along the game, he will put back all the colors. So there is a direct reward with this fact. And we are also working on the reward, as we said just earlier, because we really want to reward the player for what he does. So we have the direct and visual stuff with the direct and visual reward with the color coming into the world and into the different districts and into the different towns. And we have also the other aspect with the fun rewards that we want to put at the end of each level.
Nice.
Again, I'll add my congratulations to you guys. So this is more of a speculative design question that I want you to sort of think about. I'm not stating there's a right or wrong answer. So one thing that I noticed was that there's a disconnect between the game elements, right? You have the solar panels, you have the converters and so on, and the background. That is, you have the cities. You do make that connection that once you solve it, it turns color, I believe, right? Have you thought about adding more of an integration between the two? So, for example, your collectors at the end possibly could be integrated into the city so that it's actually flowing, the energy is flowing, and it's actually then sort of filling up as opposed to a single shot. Now it's slowly changing. A more integration sort of make the elements of the background and the gameplay more integrated, more interactive. Whether that's a good idea, whether it's a bad idea, I'm kind of curious about your thoughts on it.
We think about, but we thought the main aspect was to make a game was ergonomics and readable, because there is a lot of particles with a lot of colors, and we wanted the game to be really readable and accessible to the player. So he needs to see clearly all the different type of particles, and for that we choose to make a background very sober, and to put some very colored particles, because they are the main gameplay, and all the gameplay turn around the particle. So we wanted really to put them in
focus.
In focus, thank you. And that's the point. We wanted really to make the game easy and accessible to the player, but don't have neither a really black background. So we wanted to keep the contrast. Okay.
I think that's all the time we got. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, so thanks, Geekologic. So we're going to take that half-hour break again and return here for the last team in the mobile category. So thanks, judges, if you'd like to have a break.